Prepare to post colors. Post colors. Salute. Two. Right face. Forward march. You are standing. My name is Bob Sluga, Commander at Randolph, American Legion Post 181. I'd like to welcome you all here today for this special event, which we all appreciate. Thank you for coming. There's refreshments after. Please uncover, and now we'll have a pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Chaplain, offer prayer.
Our Heavenly Father, we are here to memorialize David Lockwood for his service to his country and to his family and to thee. May he rest in peace forever. In the Lord's name, amen.
Amen. You may be seated. I will now turn it over to Sheriff Burrell.
Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate you all being here today. This is really an honor for me to be able to do these types of things. For years, we've named bridges and roads and buildings after famous people, but not really after people that really built this country, the people who've shed their blood for this country. So today, we're continuing an effort that Assemblyman Giulio and I and others in the Senate and the Assembly to honor those folks who made so much sacrifice for their nation, whether it be in combat, for their community, and everything that has made America what it is today. And thank you, Commander, for hosting us here today. David Lockwood was a man who will be remembered and honored for his service to this nation in the Vietnam War. I can tell you that my father is a Vietnam veteran, and they did not get the welcome that they deserved. So for all of you that are Vietnam veterans, welcome home. I'd like to start off first, before we go into too much more, to introduce the family that is here with us today. First of all, Sergeant Lockwood's wife, Patricia Lockwood, his daughter and son-in-law, Beth and Brian Reed, grandchildren Derek and Justin Reed, daughter and son-in-law Wendy and Matt Lilia. Excuse me, did I get that right? Okay. And Steve and Jason Lilia. And there's also some other extended family and friends here. I'd also like to introduce some of our distinguished guests. Like I said, Assemblyman Joe Giglio. We have Steve McCord, the Director of the Cattaraugus County Veteran Services. Thank you, Steve. Richard Fontana, Special Assistant, New York State Department of Transportation. Good to see you again. Thanks. He's fairly new on the job, by the way, so good. Thanks for being here today. And Gretchen Hind, from the Randolph Town Clerk. Is Gretchen here?
Hind.
Hind, I'm sorry. There you are, back there. So thank you all again for being here. I also want to take a moment to say thank you to the New York State Department of Transportation. You guys have been great partners in this effort to rename these roads and bridges, and timing is everything. You guys worked hard to get those signs up before today, so thank you very much. We really appreciate that. I know some of you came in from out of town. You got to see the signs fresh and new, and this dedication to Sergeant Lockwood. Also, we have is any members of the town board here? I know that they really started this process. Just you. Well, thank you, because I know that you're the one who does all the work, right? So the Randolph Town Board did contact us and asked us if we would do this, and really gave us the history, along with the members here, of what an amazing, dedicated man. And also, is it Ralph Honey? There you go. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Right. thank you very much for being a part of this also, and for really sharing with us a lot of what of the accomplishments. This is probably one of the most important parts of my job, is to ensure that we are properly honoring those who serve this country. There's really no higher form of service than to put on that uniform and to serve this nation. It's the reason we can do the things we do. It's the reason that we live in the greatest nation on earth, the freest nation on earth, and the greatest nation that's ever existed. You know, a lot of people want to maybe debate that topic from time to time, but it's folks like Sergeant Lockwood and the actions that he took, both in Vietnam and after, is what proves to me that we are indeed the greatest nation on earth, the greatest nation that's ever existed. So today we are actually dedicating a bridge on I-86 across the Schoolhouse Road in the town of Randolph. The interesting thing about this is that as a young carpenter, David Lockwood actually worked on the design of that bridge. This is the first time, and I said this on the floor of the Senate when we passed this bill, that this is the first time I think we've ever dedicated a bridge to somebody that actually built it. So that was really a great and unique opportunity. So I was very proud to say that day on the floor of the Senate. As I mentioned, I am a son of a Vietnam veteran, and I know that this is difficult for veterans often to talk about what happened there. David Lockwood was 19 years old. He was a college student in upstate New York when he was drafted, and was newly married and sent halfway around the world to fight for this nation. What an unbelievable and overwhelming reality that had to be for you and the family. You know, David Lockwood chose obviously a honorable path to do this, and we really do appreciate that sacrifice. He served from December 1968 to April of 1969 with the 1st Platoon Alpha Company of the 5th Battalion, 9th Infantry Division, based in Rockine. He advanced from fire team leader to squad leader to platoon sergeant. And although he was a soft-spoken person, I'm told, he was an exceptional leader. He was highly respected by his men. He's distinguished his company as one of America's finest infantry units in Vietnam. He earned his first Bronze Star for keeping his men safe when they came upon a dangerous location in Mekong Delta, where the only path to safety lay across a very deep section of river. When I heard this, it was amazing. Seeing no other option, he commandeered a flat-bottom boat called a Saipan, and on that river, he took that boat and took his men across the river, 2 at a time, across that deep river. And then he actually gave the boat back to the woman that he commandeered it from, and then the boat began to sink, and he dove in to save her. That's an amazing story. That was his first Bronze Star. Another instance where he safeguarded his men from harm came at a time when his unit found itself under heavy machine gun fire. He instructed his men to keep the enemy engaged while he moved forward to engage the snipers, ending the attack and protecting his men. For that heroic action, he would earn a rare Silver Star for gallantry in combat. He would also go on to earn 2 more Silver Stars. What an amazing story. Despite risking his life on the battlefield, Sergeant Lockwood and his fellow Vietnam veterans certainly didn't receive that welcome at home that they have deserved. Just the opposite. They really came home to America that was torn apart by strife and division. And as a result, he and many others didn't talk about their time in Vietnam, didn't talk about their service. My father the same way. It took a long time before they started to open up about what they experienced there. And I know, just like so many that face that type of experience, you know, that scars you for life. And we see that. That's why I'm grateful for the services that are provided to help our veterans, because it is something that is a lifelong experience and can be so difficult and emotional. So thank you to the family also for supporting him in that. So in his final years, he was reunited with some of his Vietnam friends, his brothers. Those reunions became very important to the family, I know that. And while we really can't fully express our gratitude to Sergeant Lockwood and those that have served, today we know that his legacy moves on and will live on with this dedication to this bridge. So I'm going to stop talking now because I think this is really so much about everyone else recognizing his efforts. And I'd like to also invite up now Assemblyman Joe Giglio to say a few words.
Thank you, Senator. As you said, it is an honor to be able to sponsor this kind of legislation in the Assembly, and this stuff passes unanimously, which means a lot. And those of us that are my age all have a story about Vietnam, and we watched it. I'm a little bit older than George. My oldest brother served. And I talked to Steve Banco. If you don't recognize that name, he was the most decorated Vietnam veteran from Western New York. And Steve did he still does a lot of work on behalf of the Vietnam veterans and all veterans. And I said to him during a moment, I said, you know, Steve, these guys were incredible. And George just alluded to it. When they came home, they didn't say anything. They just went back to their normal life. And that was all wonderful for them. But it was more wonderful for us to have them home, to have them sitting down at the dinner table with you, meant so much more, because when they did the wall and they showed you the names on the wall of their friends that didn't come back, or a picture while they were in country of 4 or 5 guys, and my brother in this case was the only one to come back, and I'm sure with Sergeant Lockwood it was the same thing. They had that burden for the rest of their lives, knowing that they came back and some of their best friends didn't. And I often wondered, how do you live with that? What compartment of your heart do you put that in? And so when I talked to Steve Banco, I asked him that question, and I asked him the other question. I said, Steve, what have you done for the families? What have you done for the people that stood home and watched their mailbox? Because back then, that's the only way we were going to know what was going on. Or watched the Today Show in the morning as they gave it like with some sport, the counts of casualties and how many different things. What did you say to your mother and your father on Christmas Day when your brother or your husband wasn't there with us? And prayed to God that they would come home. And so when we went to the airport to pick up my brother, quite frankly, I could give a damn what anybody else thought. We were happy, and that mattered. And I'm sure you were happy, and that mattered. So when these things come up, I tend to get way over emotional about them. And when I feel very fortunate, like I said, to be able to sponsor this legislation as your delegate in Albany, but I'll tell you this, when you come from this part of the country, and when you see what these men and women did that served, you know how good we were, how good they were. And you know when they came home with a heavy heart, they didn't burden us with that heavy heart. They kept it to themselves until they met with their brothers in arms, and then they talked about it. So I was very pleased to do that, and I'm very honored to hear David's story when we heard it. I'm very honored to be in the same room with his family. God bless you.
Next, I'd like to invite up Steve McCord, the Director of Cattaraugus County Veteran Services. Steve? Thank
you. Mrs. Lockwood, I did not know David. I wish I did. Just reading the press release on this and hearing the stories. I hear these stories all the time, and each one's unique. And his 3 silver stars, the Bronze Star, I would have loved to have spoke with him. Alluding to, you've heard twice now how the Vietnam veterans were treated when they got home. I feel guilty. I was a Gulf War era veteran, and then I was an Iraqi veteran. The country bent over backwards for us to make up for what they did to them. And I feel guilty about that, because they should have never done it to them. We really should not have been treated as good as we were. Somewhere in the middle is where we need to be. I want to take this opportunity, because I did not know David, to talk about what he did when he came back. He had been to college before he was drafted. He came back, he went back to college. He used the GI Bill to go to college. And I want to talk to the veterans that are in here and the veterans' families. If you're a veteran and you have not used your veterans' benefits, please do so. Besides the GI Bill, you have the disability benefit, you have a possibility of a pension. They're out there for you. Don't be one of these veterans that say, oh, I have it okay, save it for someone that's worse off than me. You're actually hurting that veteran. The way the VA is funded is by the number of people that apply. So apply, you're helping the person. Apply, you're helping your loved ones, because their money's there for them if they pass away if you had applied. So veterans, please, use your benefits. David did. It's the right thing to do. And I'm honored to be here, Mrs. Lockwood. I'm honored to be part of this, and I'm humbled by hearing what we have here. Thank you.
So now I'd like to invite up Richard Fontana, the Special Assistant, New York State Department of Transportation, for a few words. Thank you.
Very proud to be here today. Richard Fontana. Pardon my hay fever eyes. I got into some grass down in Farnham yesterday, cutting it, and haven't been the same since, so I apologize for my eyes. It's my honor to be here with Senator Borrello and Assemblymember Giglio, especially with the family of Sergeant David Lockwood as well, to pay tribute to him today. I am pleased that the New York State Department of Transportation could play a small role in the memorial signing honoring the bravery and service of Army Sergeant Lockwood. The naming of Interstate Bridge on 86 over Schoolhouse Road in the town of Randolph for Sergeant Lockwood is certainly symbolic of the gratitude and pride that felt all throughout this community, the state of New York and the United States of America. Every time a traveler passes the David Lockwood Sergeant Memorial Bridge, it will remind them of the sacrifices and courageous service of an Army Sergeant named Lockwood, who was decorated hometown hero here in Randolph, New York. I thank both Senator Borrello and Assemblymember Giglio for sponsoring and spearheading the legislation through the New York State Assembly and Senate right to the governor's desk. That bill was signed in July, and we moved heaven and earth to make sure that this sign was in place for this ceremony today. We would accept nothing less.
Thank you very much.
Many times those signs are bagged before the event. However, I want to make sure that I mentioned this. I made the decision not to bag yesterday because we wouldn't have been able to unbag till Tuesday. That was unacceptable to me. That's why they're up today. So we appreciate all you've done, Senator. Assemblymember, thank you for your efforts. Thank you to the Post, and most thank you to the family of Sergeant Lockwood. Thank you.
Thank you for moving heaven and earth to get that done. Appreciate it. Thank you. I'd also like to invite up Ralph Honey to do the Lockwood Silver Star citation. Do you have that? Oh, sorry. No, I keep. Sorry.
It's
Looks like
okay.
you're looking the wrong way.
As the senator said, I'm Ralph Honey, family friend of Pat and David. The three of us graduated from high school together. I have a couple of things that Pat asked me to read. One, she sent me a picture of the Bronze Star Medal 3rd Oak Leaf Cluster. It's the United States of America to all who shall see these presents. Reading, this is to certify the President of the United States of America, authorized by Executive Order 24 August 1962, has awarded the Bronze Star Medal 3rd Oak Leaf Cluster to Sergeant David A. Lockwood, U.S. 51776, 105, United States Army, for meritorious achievement in ground operations against hostile forces in the Republic of Vietnam during the period September 1968 to June 1969. Given under my hand in Washington, 27th day of June 1969, Hollis Harris, Major General, USA, Commanding Officer. I also have his course of action when he was awarded the Silver Star. David Lockwood, Sergeant, United States Army, Company A, 5th Battalion, 60th Infantry, 9th Infantry Division, APO 96373, awarded the Silver Star. Theater of Action, Republic of Vietnam, date of action 22 May 1969. The reason for this, for gallantry in action involving close combat with an armed hostile force in the Republic of Vietnam, Sergeant Lockwood distinguished himself by exceptionally valorous action on 22 May 1969 while serving as a platoon sergeant with Company A, 5th Battalion, 60th Infantry on a reconnaissance and force mission in Long An Prophets, when Sergeant Lockwood's platoon received small arm fire from the two Viet Cong entrenched in thin tree line. He unhesitatingly moved quickly to the enemy's flank during their fire. He then maneuvered along a dike until he came to the wood line, 20 meters from the enemy. When the main element responded by laying down a heavy base of fire, Sergeant Lockwood rose, fired accurately into the Viet Cong's position, eliminating them. Sergeant Lockwood's extraordinary heroism is in keeping with the highest traditions of the military service, reflects great credit upon himself, the 9th Infantry Division of the United States Army. By direction of the President of the provisions of the Act of Congress approved 9 July 1918 in U.S. Air Message 16695 dated 1 July 1969. Patty, thank you for having me do this. Senator?
Thank you. Thank you again for being here, reading that, giving those details of that citation. Thank you. You know, Sergeant Lockwood never really looked for any accolades, and that's the way he lived his life with his wife and his family, very humbly, but yet carried this with him. And hearing that, hearing what he went through, I can't even imagine what that's like. And then carrying that through his entire life. So God bless him. God bless all of you for that. So it's really our honor and our duty to recognize that effort here. A fellow soldier that served with Sergeant Lockwood in Vietnam, Barney Tharp, who wished he could have been here today, wrote something about his friend. David and I grew extremely close while in Vietnam and depended upon each other for survival on the battlefields. That's a bond that can never be broken by decades, distance, or even death. So I'm happy that it's being eternally honored with this bridge dedication. It is a well-deserved remembrance of a true American hero. I think that about sums it up. I now would like to invite you, Patty, to come up, and we're going to, so you can accept this Senate proclamation. Do we have the Senate proclamation? George? No, but we don't have the time. Okay. Okay, I thought we, all right. I see. Oh, you all right? So I thought, all right. Well, I guess we'll get that to you. So my apologies. So,
Thank you.
Yeah. We do have this though, which you can take with you. So we'll get you that proclamation. Right? Sometimes things don't always go as planned in the scripts. So, you know, but the real reason we are here today is to take this moment to recognize someone who led an extraordinary life in so many ways. And now, when people drive by and they see that sign, they're going to know that he did have an extraordinary life, that he served his country, and that we honor him with this. And for as long as this bridge stands, and those signs will be there, we will remember the sacrifice of Sergeant David Lockwood. So I'd like to thank you all very much for being here. Again, we are so humbled to have so many people show up here. And I know on behalf of the family, we thank you all very much. And there will be refreshments afterwards. Thank you all for being here, and may God bless America.